Well, it's been a while since I've made one of these, but decided to show y'all how to rewire the LX corner lights into turn signals. So I've actually got a bit of a wire repair going on because one of these old wires snapped. So I'm gonna change that out real quick. But the basics: you need two positives and the single negative. There's a green and a white wire. The factory Lexus corner lights will not fit a 3-bulb socket, so there's a particular socket that you need, as well as the bulb, which these bulbs, this is the actual Toyota part. I'll show you those in just a minute here, but it's kind of difficult to see, but there are 2 filaments in this bulb. Of course, these LX470s already have a blinker built in, but from the factory they're on the rear bumper, or sorry, not the rear, the lower portion of the bumper. The whole point of doing this, though, is that you can't really see the turn signal from the side, you know. So if I'm sitting in traffic and I'm trying to turn, nobody can tell that I'm trying to turn, since the turn signal is up there. So we're rewiring all this mess. Again, the green and the white wire. The green is positive, the white is negative. And we're also borrowing from down here. These are wired up to the old turn signal wires, and all this mess is for the Iron Man bumper. So it might look a little bit different depending on what accessories you've got, but the most important bit here is the old corner wires. This is a factory assembly that I clipped off of a landcruiser in a junkyard. It's got the 3-pin connector with 2 positives and 1 negative in the center. So that's how you rewire it. But again, this is a 2-filament bulb. One of the filaments was broken, so the guy at the junkyard just gave me this for free. Yeah, there are 3 parts that you'll need. Actually 4. You need the connector, the socket, the bulb, and then you'll need 1 more terminal, which is a wire repair terminal. And all those part numbers can be found on my website in the kit. But there's the bulb part number, and they ship them. That single bulb is shipped in this massive box. Kind of humorous. One important detail: I've talked about this in several videos before, but people seem to always struggle with these connectors. They have 2 parts. The white part slips over the gray part, which has these very small tabs that clip into the hole right there on these wire terminals. So it's important that you buy the correct wire terminals, because they're very different depending on the application. These are waterproofed, which is what the little rubber grommet there is for. And you have to make sure that you slide it in the correct direction with that hole facing downward, and you'll hear a very satisfying click. One of these pins is slightly lifted up, and that's because I just used a repinning tool to push it up. So then when you pull on the wire from the back, it'll slide out of the connector. This is what the wire looks like once it slides out of the back. And now you can see that terminal is no longer in the connector. Once you've got everything wired up, jank as it might be. The next part is to go ahead and put in the connector. And the order of the wires on the back of the connector, you can't really tell, but there's 3, 2, and 1, and then you're going to want the black wire, so the new addition, which is the blinkers, they're going to go into 3, the ground goes into 2 in the center, and the marker light, or the side light, will go into the number 1 slot. Black is in 3, white is in 2, green is in 1. This is on a 99 LX. The colors might vary a little bit, but I'm willing to bet that the white wire will be the same. Next, you'll want to grab the white plastic piece and put that back into the center of the connector, and line up those 2 tabs and then push it right in, just like that. Now it's ready to go. I've already inserted a bulb into this socket, so I'm gonna put that in there, and let's try it out. There you have it. That's an indicator, and I've kept the one in the Iron Man bumper. And the same on this side. Now the trick to tell if you've done it right is to switch on the headlights, and if you wire them in the reverse, it actually won't work. The flashers will be affected because there's more resistance moving across the circuit, so it'll be flashing out of time, and then you just know that you accidentally switched those wires around. So there are 2 filaments, both are active. One's the turn signal, or the marker, the other's the I don't, like a side marker? I'm not sure what to call it, but there you go. That's how you wire those up. You will need to change out these corner lamps because the factory LX corner lamps have a much smaller socket size that won't fit that style of bulb. These are the crystal corner light kit, which I have available on my website, and I have a few other options like the clear for the landcruiser and clear for the LX, depending on what you want. Yep, there you go. Okay, one more thing I forgot to mention. Even though these are the correct part numbers, I've found that they don't always fit correctly into these corners. So I just used a pair of dikes and a razor blade to trim one of these off just a little bit so that it'll fit in there and you can actually use it, because that was a little frustrating. But there it is. Now it's good to go. The crystal corner lights, which are the ones you're looking at right now, are compatible with the landcruiser style, so the 3-prong. I have LX kits of these clear corners, but they are not compatible with the 3-bulb socket. So just make sure you do your research before you purchase a set. But all of that information is there on the website, and there are part numbers there for anybody who wants to do the purchasing themselves. So there you go. Thanks for watching. be sure to check out cruiserpatch.com. And next up, I'll be running over the heater T install, so that'll be a nice little one. See y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.